Welcome students. Today we are going to discuss Crossing the Bar by Lord Tennyson. It is one of Tennyson's favorite, and he said that in all his anthologies this poem would appear at the last. It is a rather born out of one's lifelong experience, and that is crammed into this poem. Actually, the bar represents sandbar that is created on the mouth of a river when it meets the sea, or it may be the waves of the sea that create on the shore. In any way, it is the barrier between the inland river and the vast expanse of the sea. When one embarks on a voyage, this barrier is to be crossed. Now, the point is that here this crossing the bar is as if the threshold of life, present life and the life beyond. And this threshold you have to cross to journey into the infinity. Whatever be it, I am not going to discuss the poem here in details because I have already told you, and it is my intention that I would restrict myself only to because questions and why answers, and you may call it complete the sentence as your question setters would put it in your questions. So I would restrict myself to my boundary, that is the bar. So let's begin. Crossing the Bar by Lord Tennyson. Crossing the Bar opens with sunset and evening star because these suggest the end of the day and onset of the evening, and thus foreshadow the idea that poet's life is drawing to its end. Question 2. The poet hears one clear call for him because time has come for him to set out for his heavenly abode and God is calling him back. Question 3. The poet wishes there may not be any mourning of the bar when he puts out to sea because he wishes the crossover to be limitless to life beyond would be calm and quiet without any hesitation within himself or sorrowful farewell from near and dear ones. Let us move on to question number 4. There is a reference to sandbar that is from that form in the mouth of the rivers or harbors, and one need to get past it to set sail on the wide open ocean, because the poem is cast in the form of a sea voyage to traverse life after death, and this threshold is to be crossed to embark on the voyage. Going to question number 5. The poet wants such a tide as moving seems asleep, too full of sound and foam, because literally it ensures safe passage in the boundless ocean, and metaphorically it suggests depth of unflinching faith in God, as high tide is without tremors or wavering. Moving on to question number 6. What drew from out the boundless deep turns again home, because the sea waves initiate from the vast sea, touches the shore briefly, and then return to the deep ocean of infinity, and on spiritual level we are created out of God, and on our death we are again united with the God, eternal home of the soul. It is, you may call, a centripetal and centrifugal force, as you have learnt in your science. Question 8. Twilight and Evening Bell, though almost echoes the first line of the poem about onset of the evening, the poet introduces the sense of darkness because he wants to suggest death and its unknown nature. Question 9. The poet wishes that there would be no sadness during his death because he has embraced and is prepared to accept his doom without any regrets. Question 10. The poet does not want to be miserable with the sadness of farewell and lamentation of family and friends because he wishes to travel to the new realm of afterlife with a calm and tranquil mind. 11. To put to sea or embark is used in the poem because it suggests the journey of the speaker from the land of the living towards the life of the dead. Life after death. Question 12. To mean this world, Lord Tennyson uses the expression born of time and place because it means our world is limited in time and space. Born actually means boundary or domain. 13. Almost on the footstep of the same question, born of time and place is not used for afterlife because it is eternity and not within the boundary or domain of time and place. You cannot limit it within your description. Question 14. The speaker has first conviction of meeting the pilot because once he crosses the sandbar, the flood or his faith may stray him far and wide, but eventually help him to reach his final destination. Question 15. Physical world that is transient because it is limited by time and place. Question 16. Crossing carries Christian connotations because it means crossing over into the next world and to the act of crossing oneself in the classical Catholic gesture of religious faith for imminent death. Question 17. First and third stanzas are very much akin to each other because they proclaim the descending of night, they conclude with the same wish, and go without a period, that is, without a stop. That is, they are linked to the stanzas that follow after them. Question 18. The second and fourth stanzas are related because they both begin with conditions and contrasts. But in the second stanza, and tide and flood connotes excess. Question 19. The poem can be regarded as an elegy because it is Tennyson's own elegy, not for another person, but for himself, who, like a devout Christian, believes at the end of the journey he will see God, his pilot, in heaven, and there's nothing to be sorry about death. It is nothing to be worried about. Question 20. Crossing the bar is an allegory because it tells the deeper truth of life, death, and afterlife in the guise of a narrative of embarking on a sea voyage. Question 21. Crossing the bar is an extended metaphor because the metaphor of sea voyage and marine analogies permeate whole of the poem. That's all in this lesson. I have not attempted at all to in the region of your figure of speech and such other things, imageries and like, because I think the questions would be rather straightforward from the text itself. they would not delve deep into those otherwise difficult territories. Okay, thank you all. Thank you for a patient hearing.